Hey yo, what is up guys? Sorry I ended up taking a week off from posting my videos. I really wish I would have got this video done, but I got really sick, so it was really hard for me to talk. And yeah, so I'm really sorry about that. So if you hear me coughing throughout this video, I think I'm always kind of consistently sick, as that's the one consistent thing about me lately is I'm sick. And I'm pumping out wrestling reviews like crazy. So let's get into it. Hell in a Cell 2014. Like I said, I think I was in grade 12 about the time this pay-per-view came out. Can't remember if this happened last week of October or when it happened. But yeah, this is actually a pretty decent show. Like I've been saying, I've been enjoying the 8-match format, not like today where it's just like 5 matches or even 4 matches on a show. I really like that. You get to see a lot of the different wrestlers on a card. So yeah, was a pretty solid show, I felt, from WWE. Kind of built around 2 matches. Obviously, we'll talk more about those 2 matches as we get into the show. This show kind of the main event of this show really represents the WWE we see today, where it's like it was moving away from the John Cena's, the people who really changed the game and were big stars during the PG era. Though they would still be around, they weren't going to be like the guys taking this forward, even though it was a really awkward getting to the stage we're at now with those 5 years. Yeah, I mean, I'd have to go back and watch a lot of those pay-per-views from 2015 to 2019 there. But yeah, so the main event here really represented the future of WWE. So sort of like how we all thought Daniel Bryan was the present at WrestleMania 30, this main event would take WWE into the future. So let's talk about the show. The show started off with Dolph Ziggler versus Cesaro in an Intercontinental title match, and this match was totally worth the IC title being on the line. This was a really good match. A lot of people, if you just want to go back and watch a really good Intercontinental title match, this would be a good match to start with. This was just really solid. Ton of athleticism, ton of wrestling between the two guys. So this was a 2 out of 3 falls match. There was a whole lot of roll-ups and stuff happening in the first part of this match. Dolph Ziggler, he picks up the first fall and off a roll-up, because there was just a lot of roll-ups and stuff going on at this point in time. And then Cesaro, from that point on, he just jumps on Dolph Ziggler, literally that double foot stomp onto Ziggler. And yeah, so he also had a crazy uppercut in this match too. So Cesaro just came off looking like a total beast in this match. And Dolph Ziggler, he hits just this wicked flurry at the end, famouser, zigzag, super kick, and he hit all these fucking moves in the spam of 30 seconds. He just spammed his finishers. He saved him up throughout the match, dumped him here on Cesaro, picking up the second fall, and yeah, really good match. Big fan of both guys. Ton of athleticism. This was a really the mid card in WWE at this point in time was very strong, as I noticed throughout the show. With more of the matches I'll talk about. Next up, one of the things that was kind of a fledgling thing at this point was the Divas division. Very weird and strange. This Nikki Bella versus Brie Bella feud was really weird. And yeah, there was just a lot of weird women. I don't know how to say this at the time being focused on. This was during the Total Divas time, or yeah, this is just a weird look back at. But the match, yeah, it wasn't really the greatest match ever. Brie, she comes out, she's doing the yes chant. She's wearing flannel. Nikki's got her backwards hat. What does she think, she's me or something? Backwards snapback. And yeah, Nikki kind of Nikki hit a bit of offense in this. There was a freaking moment where she was doing a back surfboard and stuff. And yeah, Brie ends up, how the fuck did Brie lose this match again? Because it wasn't very long. Nikki just hit a rack attack on her and won the match. So yeah, it wasn't a long match. And then Brie is now Nikki's slave for 30 days, which I guess this leads us into Survivor Series, where Nikki ultimately wins the wins the Divas Championship. So yeah, it was a weird time for the Divas. Moving on to, again, another kind of strange thing happening here. The tag division was really strange. Stardust and Goldust. Stardust was really kind of the Cosmic Key and all this stuff. This was a pretty good match. It wasn't my favorite match ever. It just was kind of there. It wasn't my favorite tag team match. Goldust got all of his face paint all over the mat at one point in this match. There was a really sick neck breaker from Dustin Rhodes in this, so that was really cool. Cody, he was really into the whole. He was really trying to pull off the Stardust thing, and yeah, he's jumping around the ring, and yeah, not my favorite Usos match, and not my favorite match from Goldust and from either of these guys. So yeah, it was pretty solid. It just there's nothing really to it, but Goldust and Stardust retain. Yeah, I just like it wasn't like really wasn't worth going back. Like if you're gonna like watch the show, like yeah, always go back and watch shows and stuff. But yeah, not really one I would like go back to. Is essentially what I'm saying with this one. So like I was saying, the shows were kind of built around like two matches. The show in the middle of the it's sounds like Vince did the format. It's like hot opener, hot middle of the show. We'll put on a big match in the middle of the show, and then we'll build towards the main event. So the two matches in between both those matches are like, if they're good, they're good. That's great. But the featured matches are the opener, the middle of the show, and the main event. So the middle match of the show was John Cena versus Randy Orton, and I believe their last singles match on pay-per-view to this day. So yes, kind of a blow thing that kind of blows my mind. No, it wasn't their last singles match. I talked about their last singles match, but yeah, kind of crazy to think their last singles match on a pay-per-view in a time period when no one thought these singles matches between the two would ever end. They kept going, and yeah, this was it. This is their last big singles match. And it's like a long-running movie franchise. That's what I have to say about this match. It's kind of just funny seeing them in the ring. It's like another Hell in a Cell match between... We're getting a second Hell in a Cell match between Randy Orton and John Cena. They've literally had all kinds of matches. Iron Man matches, unsanctioned matches, tables, ladders, and chairs matches, singles matches on pay-per-view. Oh my gosh. What I feel like I'm missing. I know I'm missing matches and stipulations they've done. Kicking Cena's head in the head. Anyways, so this match was just kind of dominated by Randy Orton. Randy Orton, it was kind of stupid how much of this match he dominated. Like if you watch this match, this must have been like a 25-minute match. Randy Orton probably was on offense for about 21 of those minutes. Now, not like the greatest Hell in a Cell match in the world. It was just kind of crazy to see how like dominant Randy Orton was. He even slammed John Cena's giblets into the ring post, and there was just this silence and this focus on John Cena's face, and the ring announcers were like, well, that just happened. Yeah, so this match was also for number one contendership to Brock Lesnar's world championship at the Royal Rumble, and ultimately we all know John Cena ends up picking up the win with an AA on Randy Orton. I think he attitude adjustment through tables, picks up the W. I don't even know if he got the win off that. So yeah, this is kind of just the best way to put this is it's every John Cena and Randy Orton match you've ever seen in a Hell in a Cell match. So that's, if you want to go back and watch it, if you're a fan of both guys, go back and watch it. I had fun watching it. It's John Cena, Randy Orton. Obviously, I'm going to watch it. So yeah. Moving on, that was to another, like I was saying, about how the mid-card was pretty strong at this time. Miz, Shaemus, still around to this day, going. They're still going strong. So, yeah, this is just, like I said, I was every John Cena, Randy Orton match. This was every single TV match you've ever seen. The most entertaining part about this match was that Mizdow was out there, and he was doing all the stunt double stuff, especially at the end when, like, he bro kicks Mizdow, and then he's like shaking Miz's arms around, and then Sando's doing it too, and yeah, and then he just ultimately smokes Miz with another bro kick, and Mizdow drops down. So yeah, just Sheamus won with a bro kick, and he rides off into the sunset with his United States Championship. Wonder if that guy will ever win an Intercontinental Championship. That seems to be the thing we're all talking about here. So the Divas match, again, how I said these pay-per-views always had a formula. The Divas match was always the match right before the main event, AJ Lee versus Paige. And this was actually a pretty good match. I actually enjoyed the derby between these two. It wasn't very long, but it was actually a pretty solid match. Definitely the two top women, and especially, man, Alicia Fox, she was also at ringside for this. And like a lot of the weird stuff was still just carrying over into this. And yeah, Paige, she had a lot of flurry of offense in this. She was doing some skipping around the ring until she eventually ends up just getting slammed into the barricade on the outside. And then Alicia Fox throws her back in the ring, to which AJ again gets her in the Black Widow and taps out Paige. And then, so yeah, I guess we're heading into Paige versus AJ Lee at Survivor Series. No, not Paige. No, Nikki Bella versus AJ Lee at Survivor Series. But yeah, here, this was a pretty solid match. Again, like, this is like the awakening of the Divas division as we know it today. It started here with these two girls back in late 2014, well, mid 2014. They carried the Divas division from April all the way to now. Like, it's like, that was like a 6-month feud these two chicks had. So yeah, good on them, like, for like really trying everything they can to get that division on the map, and they did a fantastic job. I really would say that those two really built the foundation for as we see the women's today, and that's really what this is. So those two girls, they deserve a lot of credit for their feud here and how they got. Now, there's a lot of girls you can obviously give credit to, but I'd say this is really like the beginning of where you saw today. And like I said, this main event I'm going to talk about was awesome. Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose, and in a Hell in a Cell match. A match well-deserved of the Hell in a Cell, just between the blood feud these two were clearly involved in, from all the way to the breakup of the Shield, the story, all the way to this, and it just felt like such a big deal. People were huge into Dean Ambrose. They were huge into Seth Rollins. They loved the Shield. So coming into this match, it had a lot of stakes. It was just a blood feud between the two. And this match delivered. This was an awesome match. A match well-deserved for people to go back and watch. So the Hell in a Cell match of CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre last year was epic. This was kind of like that 10 years earlier. No, okay, it wasn't as, this was the Drew McIntyre CM Punk match was better, but this was still an epic clash. It gave me Mankind versus Undertaker feels watching it. Like, watching them fight on the top of the cell was crazy fun to watch, and then watching them both fall. Like, man, they fell like I didn't even realize how high up that cell was, watching them both crash through both announce tables, and then they get back into the ring. Finally, they're able to get back in, and Dean Ambrose is screaming at Seth, "You screwed me, Seth. You screwed me." And man, it had all the feels, and the match just picked up and was just super, super physical from there on out. This was just an awesome match. I loved watching this match. I'd actually go back and watch this again. I originally didn't watch it when it happened, surprisingly. I wish I did. I love this match. I think this match would have helped me out so much. And then this match also, it kicks off the Bray Wyatt versus Dean Ambrose feud that takes you through kind of the end of the year here. And yeah, it was kind of a weird ending with Bray Wyatt attacking Dean Ambrose and then helping Seth Rollins win the match. So like, looking back at it, yeah, it was kind of weird. It was kind of cool to see like the way the lantern was in the ring and how it had this spirit of Bray Wyatt there. I thought that was really, really cool. So yeah, Seth Rollins picks up the win. And like I said, this match really set the catalyst for what WWE would be coming towards. It'd be coming towards like the NXT, the guys coming through NXT. This is what you're going to become. You're going to be the main eventers of this show if you make it here. And yeah, like, I thought Dean Ambrose was going to go on to be a cornerstone of the company, Seth Rollins. And yeah, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns did. Dean Ambrose didn't quite make it there. He left the company. And he's still huge in pro wrestling. Like, AEW World Champion, saw him win the title in Tacoma. Great match. So yeah, this was just an awesome match. So if you want to see like the breakout performance of the Shield, of Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins starting off their singles runs, here it is. Like, this was it. It's the main event of the show. They got given it at a time, like, this is a big deal where like not a lot of people got given that opportunity at this time. Like, it was mostly run by John Cena in the main event. If you weren't wrestling John Cena, you weren't in the main event. And that's kind of what it was for a long period of time. But like, to see these two guys get given that chance, like, not even Daniel Bryan and CM Punk got a main event over the limit in 2012. Now, granted, that was on pay-per-view, but still, like, those two guys didn't even get a main event shows. And here we are a couple years later, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins are getting that spot. So yeah, Hell in a Cell 2014, probably not the greatest show ever. It's probably like in the middle somewhere. But a really epic main event, John Cena, Randy Orton, and a really good opener, and some other just fun stuff. Oh, I didn't talk about the Big Show versus Rusev on here. Real quick, it was just kind of a leg lock central. It was Rusev picking up another W. Yeah, and Rusev rides off into the sunset going into WrestleMania 31. So yeah, real quick, I don't think Survivor Series 2014 is on Netflix, and neither is TLC 2014. So this will wrap the end of my 2014 review, leading for until I can watch those shows, and I'll come back to you guys. But yeah, so I'll be watching a lot of matches from the early 2000s and bringing up some reviews for them for you guys later in the week. Anyways, peace out, guys.